What's going on, guys? It's Unknown Player here. In this video, we'll be talking about the first Bungie weekly update of the year that finally gave us a little bit of information about what's to come in the future of Destiny. There's nothing massive, like obviously not a new expansion or something like that, but it is some small updates that is actually pretty interesting to know what's on the horizon, and there are some pretty cool stuff that definitely to look forward to. So the first thing is a Valentine's Day event called the Crimson Days, and that is what the next February event is going to be. We finally know what the name is going to be. It even raises a lot more questions as to what the Dawning actually is, whether it's a real event, whether it got changed, whether it's just going to be cut, or whether it's actually going to be a later event happening. Maybe it's going to be much bigger, and that's the event we see in March or the springtime. But it's definitely raised a lot of questions as to what the Dawning is, but it seems like the Crimson Days is what the February event is going to be, and it's Valentine's Day themed. So as you can see, the tower is decorated with all of these red like roses, I guess, all over the floor. It looks very romantic, and it's like really crazy decorated, like loads of them all over the place. And the event is running from February the 9th for a week, so a pretty short event in comparison to Festival of the Lost, which was 2 weeks, and the Sparrow Racing event, which was 3 weeks. So this is only going to be for 1 week from February the 9th. And like we said, it's going to be the same size as the Festival of the Lost. There's going to be new emotes and new stuff like that in the Tess Everest inventory, which we can buy, or we can grind them out in game. Now, what is the in-game grinding method? It turns out it's actually going to be a brand new game mode called Crimson Doubles. That is what I talked about in my latest video, where I talked about a mode that one of the Bungie employees was spotted playing, and we definitely knew that would be a mode. So this is what it turned out to be. So now we don't need to speculate anymore. We know what Crimson Doubles is, and we know it's linked to the February event. There's also going to be accompanying this a February update. So this is going to be on the same scale as all the updates, like the November and the December one, and these are going to be big weapon tunings. There's going to be a couple fixes, possibly new features. I'm hoping they add those hidden exotics that are still in the game that we haven't gotten yet. I'm really hoping they add those like they did in the December update, and we know for sure they're going to be changing up the weapon balancing and how the general things work, in addition to the bug fixes and general tuning. So in addition to that, of course, the mode is apparently going to have a brand new gameplay mechanics. So that's a pretty interesting way to phrase it. They said new gameplay and mechanics, so possibly this could be a brand new mode we've never seen before that is a little bit more than just doubles with the radar turned off, or double with no heavy and stuff like that. It sounds like it's going to be a little bit more advanced. Again, we don't know what to expect. They could just be hyping up, but it sounds like it's going to be a little bit more than just a simple modifier. And there's a lot of emphasis on fighting together and fighting close with your partner, because obviously it's going to be just 2v2, you and one other partner that you can choose freely. You can play with anyone else. It doesn't have to lock down to be one other person. But it seems to be a lot of emphasis in this update around you specifically having a playstyle and making sure that you pick the right partner. So possibly there's some kind of mechanic where you get a buff, like an armor buff or a health buff, for being closer to your partner, so maybe you have to stick together, or possibly you start losing health if you're really far away, or if you get a shield buff in a certain distance. Like, I'm thinking there could be some interesting modifiers, and of course there could also be modifiers like no heavy or no supers, no exotics, things like that. They also mentioned in this mode you're going to be able to earn sweet loot, so they said the word sweet. I'm guessing that means chocolate, so what you would expect from a romantic like Valentine's Day gift, a box of chocolates. So I'm guessing that is what the loot is going to revolve around, like in the Festival of the Lost with candy, and it was basically like trick-or-treating. This, I'm guessing, is going to be chocolates, and I'm guessing you can earn these from actually playing the doubles mode, or you can actually buy them straight from Tess. You can buy the chocolates and probably emotes and cosmetic items straight from her. That's how it normally works, and again, this is on the same scale as the Festival of the Lost, so that's the same thing to expect. It's going to be a new decorated tower, new stuff from Tess, and there's basically a way to earn the stuff in-game through playing the doubles mode, or you can actually buy the stuff directly from Tess and not have to grind it out. So that is how it's going to be working, and of course we're going to get a lot more details about this mode and how exactly the modifiers are in the doubles mode next week. So stay tuned for next week's update, and we're going to get some info about that. Now, in addition to that, Iron Banner is also returning, and it's a lot sooner. It's going to be on next Tuesday, the 26th of January, which is pretty cool that it's happening very soon, and it's going to be Rift for the first time ever. So that is what the game mode is going to be. All Iron Banner modes will be Rift, which is going to be cool to see. Leave a comment down below. Are you excited for Rift? Do you like it? You're not a fan of it? Definitely going to be interesting. I haven't played too much of Rift, but I'm looking forward to see how it plays out. And the weapons up for grabs are the Scout Rifle and the Fusion Rifle. Now, something else interesting they said was in regard to skill-based matchmaking, which is definitely a hot topic of the community recently. Now, they addressed it in the weekly update, and in summary, they basically said they added it in December, and they didn't tell us to see if we would notice it was too strong, and we did notice it was too strong, so they're going to reduce it. So it's as simple as that, and they recognized that skill-based matchmaking was a little bit too strong, and it would always put you against people who are very, very good in the same skill level as you, so it isn't always too fun to play against. Sometimes you like to play against people who are competitive and will give you a run for your money, and sometimes you like to just play against noobs. So I think they recognize that, and they're going to be reducing it very soon, and they're going to be a lot more transparent about future things they add. And they also mentioned how they're going to be soon adding a feature which will reduce lag, so that should be good to see. And personally, my experience in Crucible has been facing up against a lot of people who are the same skill level as me, and sometimes, like I said, it's just fun to play against noobs. I like to use random weapons and try out new setups, and that isn't always easy when you're playing against people people who are as good as you. So it's nice sometimes just to have that fluctuation in skill level and just have a little bit of a varied experience and not just playing the same people who are as good as you. And it's nice to be able to mix things up in Crucible. So that should make a much better experience in addition to the February update, which is going to be tuning some weapons and hopefully changing things up. So maybe some new weapons are good, like maybe auto rifle is actually really good now. That'll be interesting to see. So that is just about it. On top of that, we also have another event which is going to be bigger, like they mentioned, and that's going to be coming soon after February, and we're going to get some info about that very soon according to Bungie. So of course, any news and information, I'll keep you guys up to date right here on the channel, and also my Twitter, which is linked in the description. Drop a like rating on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.